Alright guys, so it's not often that I usually get like the standard banner units on the side as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and try out the form of double Zeta as well. So I would definitely say it is a little bit hard to kind of like test it out on paper how form of double Zeta can do, because there are a lot of conditions, especially on one of the ability. We need to take 5 attacks in order to like get all the damage mitigation, or at least get the defense. So I'm just gonna be doing one at a time. I guess in a way I'm just gonna do like a comparison between Formula Zeta, the Banshee NTD that we gotten, or the Banshee no NTD that we gotten as the first limited time durability. I'm gonna try that out as well, and I'm just gonna see on paper how much they can tank. I'll definitely say Form Double Zeta and then Judo definitely has its own unique perks, right? You can revive once you fall below 50%. So that's actually pretty clutch in a way. There are a lot of instances where the enemy could hit you pretty hard, and having that ability can definitely save you in a bit. But I would definitely say not having a second defense support actually does sucks in a way. I mean, I really wish we would have that, but I guess for a standard on a side banner unit, they can't give us all of that, right? They just really cannot. But I mean, other than that, the other thing I would kind of complain is we don't need a lot of these. This is cool, but having a force guard could have been good as well, but we didn't get that. Obviously, we just didn't get that. But other than that, I'm gonna hop into the Eternal Roll EX1. So this is the UC series, and I'm just gonna be running Quibbly, and then after that we will be substituting that with like, I don't know, like what else do we have in here? We can substitute for like RX, we can substitute that with like Banshee and as well, just to give it a comparison. And at that point in time, we can kind of gauge like, our defensively how we're doing. And I think that should be pretty much it. Like, I wish I can take it into like other event as well, but I think for just the simplicity of like showcasing like, alright, defensively how we're doing, that should be fine. Keep that in mind, we looked at 1 star, we don't really have any additional modules. No defense up, no HP up or whatnot. So let's just gonna hop in and we'll see how things gonna go. Alright, so let me turn off the auto. I would say Form of Double Zeta definitely works pretty good when you are facing less enemies, because the problem when you are facing like just a lot more enemies, like let's say the protagonist side, or I would say maybe the protagonist Eternal Roll could work as well, because I mean, you are kind of split into 2 and there are only 5 enemies, so I mean it's not the worst in a way. So I'm just gonna lay it like that, and should be good. And when FAZZ tanks, oh my gosh, 76. Alright, 76 is kind of crazy, man. Oh my god, 76. That's with the bundle attack. Wow. Whew. And we do heal right there. And you guys can see our defense did one up as well. So alright, I can't do much. I guess we can kind of see how much we can tank afterward. Alright, we got an attack right there, obviously. Wow. So we do have, I mean, we do have this, but we do have that. So it kind of got balanced off. So now we're at plus 18. Okay. Alright, we got attack again, so that's good on our end. Oh, we got defense. Oh my god, dude. 105. Yeah, we got another stack of that, but it pretty much neutralized that, because prior to that, you know, we would have been gaining, but 105, huh? Oh my gosh, dude. But unfortunately, there was that increased beam damage taken on our form of the Bazeta, so that was unfortunate. Well, I guess now we can bring in like Banshee, and we'll see how things are gonna go. Alright, so we got Banshee in here, and I'm just gonna be doing the same thing. For us, we do have the Force Gordon here, so that's gonna be 25%. So technically speaking, you can't really amount damage reduction with increased defense, I wouldn't say they have the right correlation in a way. And I would say with Banshee and Reedy Morsinus with the pairing, it's just an ultimate matchup. Like you have Sway, Force Guard, and all that good stuff. So you can't really compare that to, let's say, Form of the Zeta. Like look at that, 36. All right, that is 36. And with that, I mean, nothing really, fundamentally, nothing really changes besides that right there. But I decided to use that given the fact that we do have access to that. Because I'm trying to utilize every utility a pilot and the unit will have, so obviously I'm doing that. So still 36k right there, so it's not bad. Yeah, definitely way better, right? Obviously. And the fact that you do have 2 defense support, it just makes things a lot better. Alright, even with this. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow. I mean, obviously we haven't really got sniped down with like increased beam damage, but still. Alright, now our defense went down. Okay. Did our defense went down? Let's see. Oh, not yet, because you applied the defense down. And I take 13. Yeah, look at that. It's not bad. Alright, and Banshee actually survived the whole duration, but the sad note is I can't really heal. But, I mean, we did survive the whole duration, so in my honest opinion, I think it's better. For now, at least. So let me hop out of here. Alright, look. So I shouldn't really compare a unit that is 1-star to a 0-star unit, but here we go. We have the narrative 8-pack at 1-star. Defense wise is actually a lot at 13,000. That is definitely attributed to this right there. And then I think that was it. Alright, yeah, that's pretty much it right there. But let's kind of see defensively. What are we talking about? Same thing. We do have D4 score, and we do have the healing, which you guys take a look at that. So I honestly don't understand why we couldn't get that with Form of the Zeta. It definitely makes no sense. I don't know why. 50 what? 59? What? How could that be? So we do have the defense up. Keep that in mind, we have that. Okay. I think this one, the damage reduction is actually with special weapon. And I want to say Queen Mansa funnel isn't. Alright, let's take a look at the weapon. So it was this one. Oh, it was a special. We should have took less damage. Okay. With that we didn't because it was a beam saber, but wow. So defensively, yeah, defensively, Apex can't really hang in there at all. What do you know? Alright. Well, that sucks, and I think we can gonna pause right there. So the next test, what I'm actually gonna be doing, I want to see max stack. I want to see it at max out stacking for the for Form of the Zeta. I want to see what the stat afterwards. So I think we are actually going to be hopping into the protagonist eternal row, so we can actually take a look at it. So I will be right back. Alright, so we are at the protagonist eternal row expert difficulty. So how we are gonna just trying to make this practical is we have units that have sway. So like Benadja has sway, and then I used Kira on Zeta because I want to bait out these guys first, right? I'm trying to bait out their support attack, like these Doms here. So this is gonna work. We are essentially trying to bait out all 6 of them, so that's gonna work out in our favor. So what are we trying to do? I just want to see max stat stacking. Like what kind of defense are we looking at? Like because I know it's up by 10% every time, and I want to say not really 100% confident, but I think the overall damage calculation shouldn't be just like adding. It should be a lot more than base 50%. Essentially, I'm just thinking. I don't know. But let's go with that right there, I guess. We're baiting another 2 or 3 support attack right there. That's great on our case, so that's good. Alright. It's not bad. Alright. Nice. Bait out everything. So right now, with Formidable Zeta, defense-wise, we're looking at just kind of flat out 10,500. And you guys can see, taking damage-wise, we still have 5 remaining. So let's actually put us right here, and we're just gonna be done. Not much that we need to do. Let's go like that. And we are going to provide support defense for the first time, and we're only going to be taking 24k. That is actually not bad. We'll definitely take that. Let's go with this actually. Yeet. So our defense should have went up right there. Alright, perfect. That's good actually. Taking that one out. Alright. Alright, we can probably check the defense afterward. I just kind of wish I can check it like mid-fight. Wish we can just do that. But obviously we cannot. And I think we're just gonna block. Not much we wanted to do anyways. Alright. I think I'll let Shark hit right here. Oh. Okay. So let's see where our defense is at right now. So defense wise, we're up by 700. Okay, that's not bad. If we just take like a quick calculation of like 105 times like 10% off of that. Should have been, I would say should be a little bit more than that. Maybe? Yeah, I'm not really sure how they would be calculating that, obviously, but it should have been a little bit higher than that, but it's whatever. 700, so we will see how that's gonna go on like the next occasion. So I'm gonna put these unit like right about here, I guess. Let's do that, and alright, that should be it. So Unicorn should take the hit, and we are obviously going to be blocking. So still 28, huh? 28k right there. Interesting. Okay. I mean, it should have been less, but I mean, we do have 2 support attack right there going in, so it is kind of apparent why that is. So these guys in the back, they actually debuff us as well, so it's not much we can do. Debuffing is, yeah, actually sucks on our end. So actually, oh, that's good, 23. So if we're just taking a hit naturally, it will be 23k. So let's check our defense now. It's at 127. So we went up by, no, oh, we took that much already? Really? Huh. So now we're down to 2 more only, huh? Alright. Let's see if we're gonna get hit again after this. Alright, we heal right there and then. That's good. Oh, this is gonna be attacking Zeta, huh? That's not fun. Alright, let's see. One more attack. Ooh. Alright. Okay, dodge those. Nice, that's good. Final turn. I think final turn is all we need. So let's check the defense right now. So defense wise, 135. Okay. So it's still roughly about 7%. Or 700 actually. So it does seem that nothing really changes. I think it's just a flat 10% add-on. Nothing else. So let's do this right here. It's gonna end my turn. Alright, so we'll take... You guys actually debuff, so I'm not gonna block for you. Not doing that. Alright, you dodge, that's good. Oh, snap. Ugh. Oh. Whoa, I forgot it's that wide of a range. That is crazy. So what do you... You know what? We'll just block it. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's check our defense. It haven't calculated into it yet. Alright. So that's not gonna, still not gonna kill, okay. It's good. Okay, I think we'll take the hit next turn. Oh, come on now. The what? Dude, how do you just keep dodging this? How can you keep dodging all of those? Oh my gosh, dude. Alright, so 41. Max that stacking 41. So yeah, so it is gonna be an increment of 700 per hit. So 142 or just 14,200 and or I would say round it up to 14,300. It's not bad. I mean, we went up by 400 or 4,000 over the course of like the 5 attacks, but I mean, this is definitely not a practical situation where you can just take 5 attacks like that. Yeah, this is definitely not feasible, I would say. So, is this good or bad? I mean, I would say if you're not using judo, it would have been better, but I don't know would it be optimal after that. That's the thing. But I feel like you shouldn't use judo and you should have just used any pilot that has 2 support defense. And I think to just make the best out of like you have increased defense, you have force guard and all that fun stuff. So I think having that would have been much more of a better situation, in my honest opinion. But I think after the 5 stack, formidable Zeta should be much more tankier, but you can't really use that on a pilot that only has 1 support defense. That's the only downside of it. So yeah, I would say if you have formidable Zeta, use it with like any other pilot that has 2 support defense, and I think you should be cooking as far as like the defensive aspect of things. But I mean, other than that, that's going to be pretty much it for me, and I will be catching you guys all on the next one.